Good morning. Morning. Let's get with it. Let's get with it.
To make this before this video. So she's smiling. That's Missouri. So this, remember right, Minnesota is Minnesota in Missouri. So she actually went like I thought the whole argument against Kyle Rittenhouse about going across state lines was like stupid. Intentionally break. Obstructing fed. No.
Somebody's early awake. I see. As you can see, the robots, the robots are here. Whoever you are, you don't need to hide yourself, man. I saw. Some of them hide themselves. Some of them are. You are here. I know you're here. So yeah, you can hide all what you want. We still see you.
Why would you say this? Oh, oh my God.
Forever.
Shit. This changes. So there we go. And so, yeah, and you can even hear it, right? You even hear that. Drive, did it drive? Did she say that? Let me hear it again.
Good morning to you too. Didn't see shit, man. Come on.
Oh my
Okay.
God. What the? This changes everything? Look, it's so obvious right from the beginning. It was so clear. And I knew. And by the way, I'm always right. I am. I'm always right on these. It's crazy, but it happens every time. So, yes, and it's escalated. Yes, she was the one that escalated it. And then she stepped away. The wife got her killed. The wife didn't get her killed. She got herself killed because she was the one that was driving. And the police officer was yelling at her, stop. Go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Listen to this. Go ahead. Out of the car. Out of the car. He's saying out of the car. He's walking up to her. He's saying out of the car. Get some lunch, big boy. Go ahead. Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. 3 times he told her to get out of the car. like they're in Grand Theft Auto. This is a lot of these people on social media and the media in general and a lot of these political commentators
Mm-hmm.
are totally to blame for this. I This woman gets shot. It's sad that somebody that was a mother got killed. Like, yes, obviously, I think it was justified, but it's sad to see something like that happen. I
But
don't really think about like that a whole lot. It's sad. It happened. It is what it is. But she's the cookie factory, and the cookie factory that prints these fucking people is the mainstream media. And then on top of that, the entire social media apparatus that gasses them up and tells them that they can commit a crime if they're
of course she's
sufficiently
rebel.
aggrieved. They're the
Tough.
ones that have created the ecosystem over and over and over. They are spawning radicals. There's more of them every single day, and it's bringing things to absolute chaos. It's total fucking chaos. You have the media saying, "Oh well, it's ICE. It's not. They're secret police. They're things entire day. If she didn't think that they were police, why the fuck is she following them? Then on top of that, they have lights on their cars. They're fully decked out in police gear. They're acting like police officers. Every single thing points that they're police officers, but you're trying to pretend like they're not. It's just insane. She knew. She knew they were police officers. That's it. The wife could be charged with telling her to drive. I think they should. I think they absolutely should charge her. They as they see themselves as the good guys. This vigilante on the internet needs to die before more people die. This has to stop. Federal investigations. You can't drive over federal officers. You can't ignore lawful orders. You can't decide in the minute of you being detained whether you think that it's justified or not. And if you disagree with it, you just get to drive away. That's not the way the world works. And somewhere down the line, we lied to these people and we told them that it was. And now somebody is dead who advocated drive away. Everybody who said ICE are secret police, don't listen to them, don't follow their orders. Everybody who said that, like make sure to fight back against ICE, put your body on the line. They are the ones that are responsible for this. Because here's the truth. Minimum. Actually, that's not true. She had kids. It ruined all of her kids' lives. It ruined her life. It ruined her wife's life. It's going to ruin this police officer's life. You have probably a dozen people from the butterfly effect of this
Family,
who are going
family.
to have their life irreparably damaged and altered and made tremendously worse. Not to
You
mention
couldn't
others who
focus on your
died.
family, but you had to focus on
All
what?
for what? For what?
Ice,
And the cookie
ice,
guys.
baby. Ice, ice,
And they
baby.
keep making these social media, oh, give me
My
a
bad.
cookie for saying that I'm a revolutionary. It's getting and all this violent language and everything against the officers, against the law enforcement, against police, it has to stop. More people will die. Maybe it might be an officer next time. Maybe it might be another protester.
Who knows?
But they'll die. But why is there a Tyrannosaurus in the driveway? Yeah, dude, when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute. The first thing I thought of is, did somebody AI this whole video? And then they put the Tyrannosaurus in
Of
there,
course, they
and they
gotta
were not
bring
saying
AI
it was
into it.
AI. They were doing
Yeah.
nothing. And I was like, oh my god, did the entire internet, including the vice president, just get tricked? But because that would be clever, right? It would be clever. And so that's why I was just pausing there for a second. I was like kind of like doing mental calculations there. I was like, wait a minute, wait, what? What are you talking about? And so it's a T-Rex on the car. It is. It's the T-Rex on the car. That's really cool. Yeah, not even really the point, but why is there a Tyrannosaurus
Yeah,
in the
man, it's
driveway? Yeah,
on the
it's a
car.
pretty Welcome to America, right, guys? Welcome to
T-Rex
America.
on a
So,
car.
yeah, they're crushing the car. I can see that.
That's, that's so
So,
dope.
are ICE officers not empowered to instantly tase aggressive behavior like this? No, but I think that here's the reason. Most officers don't want to, they don't want to shoot somebody. They don't want to tase somebody. They don't want to detain somebody. They don't want to arrest somebody. Do you want to know how I know that?
Tell
It's
us.
because it takes more work to do that. So every single time where there's a possibility, bullshit, you say that's bullshit. It's not. It's paperwork, court dates. Like every single time that happens, the guy's got to go to court. He's got to explain himself, and then he could get sued afterwards. Fuck no, you're not going to deal with that. Absolutely not. So unless you have to, I think in a lot of cases they're not. Now I'm not saying that there aren't cops that go against this. But what I'm saying is, in a general sense, I think that my assumption is correct. That most cops don't want to do anything to you because if they do, they might have to report it and they might have to deal with it later on. And a cop's life is stressful enough, and that's it. Most people don't like killing, even if it's justified. Most people don't like shooting other people. That's what I hear. Renee, she was a member of ICE Watch, a radical group trained to monitor block vehicles and disrupt ICE operations in sanctuary cities. DHS ICE Activist Network, was she paid for it? Mainstream media won't touch that question. Well, the reason why is because there's really there's no possibility that could happen. I mean, there's no certainty that would
She
happen.
was she
So
was getting
I don't know
paid.
if this is really. I mean, what is this here? So she's Minnesota Ice Watch. Okay,
You
yeah,
getting
there it
paid
is.
to
So
ice
then,
watch
so
nowadays?
you got it. Okay. Now,
The
what
fuck?
did I say? What did I say? That these things are going to get somebody killed. I
And they did.
starting to listen to me about the 2% idea, and I was happy to see the I don't care about international law, my own morality is the law. Like, okay, that's good, right? I was happy. But, like, he's got to listen to me even more. He does. Like, it's a good start, right? It's a good start. But we got to go even farther than that.
She was being asked multiple times get out of the car. Now she drove by a freaking cop. I think she got
You
shot.
see how fast that car went. You heard that? She read that motherfucker.
Yeah.
She did. And I want to go back. I want to go back to what I said originally. This is what I said about it
She
the day it came out.
she ran over a cop.
Right there. She's moving forward, and he had to just barely get out of the way. He barely got, if he hadn't moved, and you could hear the thump. How do you think the thump happened? You heard the thump. The tire. See, now the tire is moving forward. You see the tire is moving forward? That's the revving. That's exactly what I said happened.
let's I guess let's pick
Directly in
excuses.
front of the car.
Was
You
enough
can
snow?
see the spinning. This would have never happened if she had just gotten out of the car, and it would have never happened if she hadn't just tried to block the police in the first place. I see her spinning her wheels forward, right there. You're trying to run over that officer. You are. She doesn't give a fuck. Plus, if you're next to a car like that, you can hear it when it starts accelerating. You know.
Good morning to the two people that are watching this. Good morning. If you are here to start some shit, you better leave. Just leave. Because you are expecting some shit, and take that shit. Because you won't get it from me.
To a car car like that, you can hear it when it starts accelerating. You know what? You actually bring up a great point. I hadn't even thought about this. But the police officer who was in front of the car heard the wheels accelerating. And yeah, absolutely, he's going to pull out his fucking gun. That's a great point. New pictures show the bullet hole in the windshield so clearly shot from in front of the car. Here we go. And you can see right here,
Oh
if the cop
shit!
wasn't in front of the
Damn!
vehicle, then he wouldn't have been able to make this shot. I've seen the video.
A
Don't sue the
single shot.
propaganda machine. The state won't sure. Is the son going to apologize to you now? He shouldn't apologize to me. He should apologize to his audience for trying to goad them into the idea of disobeying federal officers and putting their lives in
I don't know
danger.
if it's to the head, but a single shot is definitely
Yeah, he
seen
should
it
be
in the
apologizing to them,
windshield.
putting their lives on the line.
It's
I don't even apologize.
it's hypocritic if people start saying like yeah, I've heard the news that some woman got shot by a police, but now after I'm seeing this, I'm like it's a little bit hypocritic considering she tried to run over a cop. I don't mess around with cops either. I don't like cops. I don't like police, but to run over a cop. And I would understand if I did that, put me in jail. But yeah, they shot her. They shot her dead, man.
Viewers that were angry at me, it would be nice, but you know, other than that, it's fun. I don't need that. And under acceleration too. Well, you could see the because she said drive, baby, drive, and she fucking floored it. She did. A lot of reasonable people in the middle of this that see this. How could she know that they were police?
How could she know that they were police? Seriously?
They're in these unmarked cars, and they're just randomly showing up, and they're kidnapping people. They're kidnapping. They're genuinely coping. I know they are coping. They are completely coping. Sadly, they'll see the video and focus on the fucking bitch because they're retards. I'm gonna be honest. If somebody ran me over, I'd call her a fucking bitch too. Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Holy shit.
A single shot, whether it's to the head or whatever, but yeah, she got it.
She just tried to kill him. She tried. What are we talking about? Here we go. Listen to this.
Walking around kind of just stay aside because I got I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong. Yeah, in some way, I don't know why. What, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, like, where that stems from. Like, I mean, part of it is being like a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege.
Shut the fuck up, man. Shut the
That's helpful or necessary when black and
man. This is so cringe.
We've got a big problem. Guys understand how bad this problem is.
but people have been experiencing this for a long time. This isn't new for them, and so I don't know if that makes any sense in that way.
How did you decide that you should be here? Or are you still figuring that out?
Well, I work like 2 miles from here, so
That's a surprise.
Surprise, man.
just it's like I'm here.
Yeah.
2 miles. I can.
Didn't expect that one. Yep, there we go again. These people have the mentality of a 4-year-old. I know. That's because emotional thinking reduces you to that. By emotional thinking are reduced down to a childlike level of logic and reasoning. They're mentally children. Like they are adults and they can, in other situations think like adults, but in these situations they're mentally children. That's it. Oh yeah, a no-go zone has been put up in Minneapolis. These are
She
literal
feels wrong
mental
for what?
children.
Woman says she feels wrong. She feels wrong for paying her respect to Renee Good because she's a white woman who's privileged are not helpful. What? In Tehran is a geopolitical shift that so many a previous administration failed to believe was possible until President Trump. What we are witnessing will change the trajectory of the world for generations. If the regime falls, if the regime falls, it will be because of our what? If the regime fall, it will be because of our what? They're not continuing the. Yeah, that's the Terra news. But yeah, let's continue, man. Let's continue with this.
They're mentally children. That no-go zone has been put up in Minneapolis. These are literal mental children. They're building walls to keep the police out. They've got for being married to a Filipino.
A no-go zone has been put up in Minneapolis. Is that not where the Somalis are from? The illegal Somalis, the one that are trying to commit fraud. Not all Somalis are bad, to be very honest. It's funny they put up, man. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. But I know one thing, but not all of them. It's funny. They put up walls and barriers to keep people out, but they didn't want border walls to keep illegal aliens out, which sparked this whole situation in the first place. Okay.
No, oh, I don't think so. So, yeah. We should deport these people to Iran and help them protest there. I thought they don't like walls. To be fair, it's not really much of a wall, right? No wonder they think anybody can get over it. So, yeah. And aren't these the same people who just celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk? I think that there is a huge overlap. There is.
Man,
But
this some good
Minneapolis has
coffee.
put up a no-go zone. They put up walls and barriers to keep people out. They didn't want walls and barriers to keep illegal aliens out. Yep, what a big surprise. These people, again, I've said this before, I'll say it again.
Y'all have been really harassing the ICE agent since the time Trump got what?
They don't want to, and they don't hate the government. They want to be the government. They don't hate the police. They want to be the police.
Police, okay?
They don't hate the laws. They want to make the
Okay.
laws. They don't hate power. They want to have power. They don't hate authoritarianism. They want to be the authoritarians. That's what it is. Oh, no, they're not doing this again, are they?
What are they doing?
Oh no, an autonomous zone?
Let's read it. Let's read it. Breaking an autonomous zone has been declared by the leftists in Minneapolis and is being referred to as a no-go zone for police. This zone spans for several blocks. Residents are barred from driving their homes. Okay, uh, driving to their homes. Okay, the federal government must end this. Makeshift barricades used, trash and stolen materials are all at all intersections, and guards are present at each barricade using trash and stolen materials at all intersections, and guards are present at each. This looks almost identical to Shaz or the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone 20, where the city surrounded a neighborhood to anarchists who made their own laws. Charles was famous for failed communism, death, theft, and vandalism. And as you would imagined, they were commonplaces in the zone. Kevin Posobi- Posobiec, I think I'm saying it right, and I went in undercover to take a look. If we had been discovered, we had, we'd have been violently run out. It's not as friendly as it seems. We cannot allow this to happen again. Shut it down. Okay? Shut it down.
Oh my god! Oh no! Are we another one? Are you? This is so fucking embarrassing.
His reaction
Holy
is crazy.
shit! Generation American, me and my Hispanic family all voted for Trump to get people like this out. Every fucking person I know that's Hispanic pretty much all voted for Trump.
Oh,
I know like
shit.
two that did. Like,
Uh,
20 that did. So yeah, I did. This is in Texas, right? It's in Texas too.
oh,
Shit,
my eyes.
this zone spans
Eyes.
for several blocks, and residents are barred from driving to their homes. Look at this.
They throwing the F word everywhere, man. F this, F that,
This
F
has to be
police,
addressed.
F
You
F
can't let these
them, F
people go out and do
this.
this because the more that
Shit.
this is inside of the ecosystem.
It's becoming easy to just throw the F word to everybody. F you, F them, F,
This is actually so scary for me to see because I
F the
know
government.
like
Yeah?
this it's in itself it's like just a few idiots like building a
It's
fucking
easy.
fort. I've built a fort before, right? Building forts is fun. I get it. I know why you guys are doing it, but it's about the ecosystem that it creates. Charge them for kidnapping, yeah. You charge these people for kidnapping, or basically think about every single law that you can possibly charge them on. Every single one. Every single one. This is an act of rebellion, justification for sitting in the military. I agree. I definitely agree. It needs to be crushed by local authorities to make a point.
F you Nazis.
Just because George Floyd white people.
It is very cold over there, man. Shit. They're using ice to block the fucking road. That's crazy. I'm not talking about ice agents, not literal.
Think about all the money. Like now they're destroying
Talk about
signs and
literally
vandalizing
ice,
things. I don't want to live in
frozen
New York.
ice.
I don't. I don't want to live
You
in the
see
city.
how
I want to
fucked
live in a
up it is.
country that lets people
We
do this.
cannot even we cannot reference certain things because we are used to certain things in our society. Ice.
It's crazy. Tell them to stop. No, no. Those aren't the only two options. Sorry about the flickering. The shutter right on this camera is bad. Jesus. Jesus. I want to get one of. Where can I? Can somebody send me a link on Amazon to buy one like this? I really like these a lot. These ponchos, and I see people that wear them sometimes, and I've always wanted to get one, and I never have gotten one before. Yeah, yeah. I want to get one of these. These are really cool. You don't go outside? I do. I go outside regularly. Unfortunately, being masked. They're all wearing masks. I thought ICE wasn't police.
Everybody dancing, smoking, and singing after popos and stuff.
Welcome to Wagartha. Bro, this is actually, yeah, you're right. They're all white. right. Yes, this is what Garth
They are all white. I don't. I thought. I said. I want. I expected some. At least,
Oh, wow.
at least
Look at
some.
this.
You know,
This third worlding of our country
Latinos,
sucks.
but no,
It
they are all
actually
white
sucks.
peoples. All white peoples.
Cooking food out in the middle of the street. Is it the 4th of July? Yes or no? Answer is no? Okay, get out of the street. Is it Mardi Gras? No, it's not. You're not in Louisiana? Get out of the street. Maybe New Year's. Crazy.
They got donuts. They got donuts.
Okay, well, if you want something else, there's some sesame.
Oh, yeah, the revolution will not be televised. It's going to also be catered. Hell of a selection here right now. Holy shit. Two fires going. They're all fat. There's a lot of them that are fat. A lot of people up there are fat in general. These seals are fat because it's cold where they're at, you know? Makes sense. So, look at them, look at them. It's Lagartha. It's Lagartha. Maybe that's what Trump should do. We need a national. Listen, this is the solution, okay? We have an executive order, constitutional amendment, remove Minnesota from the United States, and it can be renamed as Lagartha, and they can have their own laws and their own decisions, and they can do everything all by themselves. It's too more ridiculous, yes. It's like Daisy. Yeah. Oh my, look at this. It's
What
in
the
the
fuck
middle
is
of the
that?
street. Oh my god. What's Lagartha? Download Instagram and you'll find out.
What is that?
that we was doing business with some rap, some up and coming rappers like that. So, yeah, used to be rolling with Gucci Mane, but that's a whole other story for another day. So we ended up being another. So this basically what happened. So we go to the club one night, right? We went. I don't think the club even opened in Atlanta no more, but it was called Diamond Strip Club. Diamond Strip Club. It was right off the E-way. I don't know nothing like that. I don't know what street it was on, but it was right off the E-way. It was Diamond. Diamond Strip Club, right? So we go to the club, right? So I'm with my big homie. He's from Atlanta. He used to run with Lil Baby. He was one of Lil Baby homies. I'm with him. I'm with his aunt. I'm with his little brother. It's me. This is my main man, G-Dot. If y'all real Mac Moolah fans, y'all know G-Dot. You feel me? That's my main man's best friend, brother, all that, right? So we pull up to the club, right? So we done been to this club a few times, all right? So at this time, don't got no gun on me. G-Dot, no gun on him. But we had like 2, 3 guys in the car with us, you know what I'm saying? So we pull up, we park in the valet, we go inside the crib, inside the club, regular, regular. So at the door, my big homie, security, he knows security. Security take his for him. He put it in like this little safe, like this little, like this little safe, like a lock safe for him. He put it in there. He let us in the club. Everything going good, and I'm gonna try to find the footage because it's on one of these SD cards, but I ain't seen that shit in so long. I might have threw that away. I don't know. So we go in the club, everything regular, right? Long story short,
Regular, regular.
break out. So why did this fight break out? Basically, my big homie,
I feel safe
we gonna
watching
call him
this.
Nico.
Thank
All
you
right.
for the
So
energy. How
Nico,
can you feel
we
safe
get to the
if you are
crib,
hearing
right? We
somebody
doing
else?
good. He
Ah,
throwing money. He having
fucking
the ball.
bullshit,
You know what
fucking
I'm saying?
bitches, man.
I
I
was
swear to
recording
God,
him,
bro.
making sure he got his content
Somebody
recorded
else's
so I
story,
can
you
use
feel
that.
safe.
So one of his homies, or one of his, and he knew it. We had kicked it with this, and we had been around this
And it's a
shooting guys
shootout
in
too.
spots and trap houses and all that. So
What if
I
he
knew it.
died?
I
What
knew
if
it
he
was
died
him and the law
and
in his hand. You
didn't
know what I'm
have the
saying? Like that
opportunity
type
to
vibe.
tell this story? What if he passed away? Huh? What would you say then? Huh? I feel rest in peace. Fucking stupid, man.
So he walked up to my homie Nico, and he like pressing him though. Like he in his ear like mad. But they homies though, and I ain't really peep it like that. I'm standing on the side right here. I ain't really peep it like that. You know what I'm saying? So once I did peep it, I'm like kind of aggressive, but that's bro. Like you feel me? We cool. Like they probably just playing around. You know what I'm saying? So he kind of like in his face. They kind of like arguing. They not getting physical. They not like over yelling. The music loud. The lights going. You know how strip clubs be. So they not like over yelling. So I ain't really thinking nothing of it, but I'm watching them go. You see what I'm saying? All of a sudden, the nigga that was pressing my homie Nico, this is basically what happened. So my homie Nico ended up buying a gun. That was this other. We gonna call him Zach. The other Zach, that gun and sold that gun to Nico. So Nico, you know what I'm saying? So he stole the gun. Stay with me. That stole it from Zach. You see what I'm saying? So that's basically what they arguing about it like that. Out of nowhere, it's
Yo,
this short little kind of like chubby stocky standing behind Zach as he pressing my man's Nico.
what's up, Kyron?
The short little come out of nowhere, pop Nico in the mouth. Boom! Come out jaw. All the way over there. Nico ate that, came back around, swang, pop. So now they going at it. Nico's little brother standing right next to him. So they flooding him. Bing, pop, pink, pop. My homie G.I., he jump on Zach. He hitting Zach with the E. Huh, huh, huh. It's going down in the club. So at this point, I'm like, whoa. So I get my little few swings in because I don't know what's going on at this point. You feel me? I had literally looked down. I looked up and it's fight. Like it was just that quick. Like I looked down, looked at the. I don't know what was going on. I looked down, looked up. It was full blown fight. So by the time I get over, I'm looking like, oh, who do I go help? Type. I see Nico. At this point, he by himself. So I run over there to Nico. I hit this. Like, I don't know if I keep doing that. So at this point, the fight kind of breaking down. Security getting in between us, right? I grab my homie G-Dot shirt, pull him. I'm like, we got to go. Because I'm thinking like, they finna shoot this up. You feel me? Like, the first thing I'm thinking like is they finna shoot this up. And gang, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I got real PTSD, you know what I'm saying? And one one of my biggest fears is get like a shootout happening and we all
Okay, let me
fall
read,
off.
bro. Let me read what you say. Let me read what you say. Hi, have a blessed day, brother. I just shared this with some friends. Hope that you join. Hope that join. Bye, bro. Okay. You don't. Thank you, bro. Thank you, but you don't have to. Yeah, yeah. Is that how you feel? Like, like, uh, do I do I look so pathetic or something that you have to send your friend in my chat? Like I say, I never asked for it. I appreciate it, but you don't have to, man. You don't have to. You can just, be yourself. In life, you should tend to be yourself. You don't have to give too much that is unnecessary, because some people never ask for your help. Honestly, I never asked for your help. So right now you be like a victim blaming, saying all this stuff like, hey, my friend this, my friend that, but I never seek for anybody's approval. Like, honestly, I don't care about your friends, I don't care about you. You are allowed to be on my channel and enjoy whatever is going to happen in my channel, but some, maybe your friends don't like me, maybe your friends don't like the amount of stuff that is on my channel. I don't know how old your friends are. You can just you don't have to do certain things. I might look pathetic to you, but I'm not. I enjoy my life. I enjoy every second, every minute, every hour that I'm spending. And honestly, the reason of me capturing this moment is not necessarily because I want people to be on my channel. It's because I want to capture this moment. Maybe, who knows? Maybe 5 or 10 years from now, I'll get to show this to yeah, my loved ones. So yeah. But I never seek for anybody's approval. I thought I needed it, but everybody's lying to Google. So
Cause there's so much going on, bullets flying in this little ass space. We not even outside. Bullets can't travel. I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, my homie get out. We hit the door. We run. We hit the door. We moving backwards though. Like we walking backwards at this point, right? So my homie Nico goes to the front of security. He go try to get his back. That's the first thing you think about when we hit the door. Nico like, I need my. They just fought me in the club. I need my right now. You see what I'm saying? So security now on his gun. Wow. And Nico had his gun. So broke off in the first place. That's how the even found out that Nico had the gun. So now the fight go out. Nico go outside. We trying to get his back because we don't know what they own at this point. I ain't gonna lie. We know he just whooped they in the club. You know how to be, bro. You feel me? So we don't know what they own. So we trying to get his gun immediately because security now already gave the gun back to Zach. So Zach, Zach got the gun in the club. We got to go. So everybody get in the car. We like 2 cars deep at this time. Everybody we roll with, we get in the car, we get in the truck, we press on. Like I said, Diamond Strip Club. If y'all from Atlanta, y'all know the right off the E-way. So we hop straight on the E-way, right? So we hitting the E-way, like we hitting the E-way. Whole time we hitting the E-way, we in the car like this. Like that the whole time, making sure nobody following us, right? So it's this little small gray car, super black tint. We get on the freeway, probably on the freeway like 10 minutes. I'm in the back seat. Nico's little brother in the back seat. Me and G.I. in the back seat. So it's me in the back seat. It's a girl in the front seat. Okay? Creeping. It's creeping. Like it's getting closer, then it's like slowing down. It's getting closer, then it's like slowing down. But it's like dark and tense. We all looking back, except the driver. Nico's driving. We all looking back like these. I see one of the windows go down. I say he just dropped his window. Without no hesitation, this go brother hang out the side of the car. We on the freeway going like 100 miles an hour. He on outside of the car like me, busting that thing. Bump, 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 bump. I'm standing right next to his brother, so I'm grabbing him because we going 100 miles an hour. He hanging out the window like this right here, shooting. Bump, bump, bump. You feel me? I'm hanging, I'm grabbing him because I'm like, bro, we going fast as hell. And
Yeah,
like he's
man, you
hanging
can't
out the car
fall.
like that. The whole body got the car. Shooting. He shoot like 5, 6 shots on the E-way, right? And so the car slowed down, and we pressed on. We get all the way back to the trap house. The trap house is like on, I ain't gonna say like, where it was at, but it was right off Flash Shows. Flash Shows Road. If you from Atlanta,
Is
you
this
know what I'm
need
talking about. That.
self
So
snitching?
we like right down the street from the Hamp. Y'all know the
Seem
Hamp.
like self snitching,
Y'all
man.
know the Hamp. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Somewhere over there. You feel me? I forgot what else over there. I don't know. It's that area like Young Nudie and them used to be over there. I forgot. It's like a chicken spot over there. He talk about it in songs. I don't know what the chicken spot is called. I'm not from Atlanta. I don't know. We end up over there, right? So as we going into the apartments, we see the same car again. So remember, it's like two more in the car, plus the that Nico brother had. So I get it. I forgot who else had it. Whatever. I'm like, yeah. I don't listen. I ain't listen. Shit. I ain't no gangster, but don't push me. I ain't no killer, but don't push me. And I'm not gonna lie to you. At this time, I'm scared. Heart beating through my
I
chest.
ain't no
I'm
killer,
like,
but don't push
I
me.
am ready to go home.
Don't
I'm
push
not
me.
even from here. We left our car over here. You see what I'm saying? It ain't even really no reason for me to be beefing with this. Like, yeah, we homies, but we work together.
Twee uur eerder. Uw grote schoenen.
Goodness,
Ik
bro.
heb sinds nieuwe Brilliant Shine Plus capsules. Het gaat er echt dag met alleen dag verder. Oké, de politie gaat over straat. Nice. Deal. De nieuwe Sun vaatwascapsules zijn onverslaanbaar op de meest hardnekkige vlekken. De nieuwe capsules van Sun. Hey.
Dus even over die kinderen, man. Ja, wij missen ze ook heel erg. Maar ze moeten nog een weekje bij jullie blijven. Dankjewel, man.
Het ziet er naar uit dat we nog een weekje blijven. Dat zijn vakantiediscounters. Die snappen vakantie. Oh damn, it's about to go down.
She says she's gonna smite him, Jay.
What's happening?
Smite!
Een nieuw seizoen van Ghosts. Elke maandag om 8:30. Exclusief bij Comedy Central.
You feel me? I knew you for 2 months. I ain't ready to die about you, nigga. You feel? Like, this ain't like I'm in Chicago. These my best friends I grew up with. This a beef that's been going on. I don't even know what the is like. At this point in time, all that stuff, ego and
I hate those beefs, man. You're just you're with your friends, and yeah, there is some random altercation with folks, and you have no idea what the fuck is going on. You're just in between.
just hitting the street. Like, they wasn't hitting no car at all. Like, it was no shots hit our car, but we did hear some sparks at a point, right? So we pull in the apartments, that same car. We see that same car. Well, we think it's that same car. We see them like creeping down the block, right? And so at this point, we get on point. So we all watching the car cut his lights. When the car cut his lights, okay, it's gonna go down. You feel me? So it's in the car. I think one of them out of bullets. So when I had two more in the car, I got one. Like I said, I'm scared. I've been in a situation like this before, but I'm not the tough. So I am scared. I'm about to myself, pee, throw up, my heart about to come out my ass. You see what I'm saying? So I got this. I'm gonna handle my business. Like, I'm still a man, bro. I'm not finna die at a Flat Shows Road in Atlanta. My second year. I'm not. It's not. This. I think we was only living here. We moved in like October. This like November, December. Like, we lived here for 2 months. I'm not gonna get in Atlanta my second month living here over some shit that I don't even know what's going on. At this point, I don't know what's going on. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't even know these niggas like that. I'm not ready to die. I'm not ready to go to jail about this shit at all. You feel me? I'm like 22 at this time. I ain't been in a street situation since I was like 17, 18. You feel me? So it's been 4 years removed. I've been in the crib locked in trying to blow up on YouTube. Like, I'm not trying to, I ain't gonna know type of nothing, bro. Like, I ain't did nothing in the streets. I ain't hung out on no block. I ain't told no, I ain't did nothing illegal. I ain't had no on me. I ain't did nothing illegal in over 4 years. Like, I'm cool, gang. The mistake we made, though, was at that point we was trying to push our business out, and our business
We was working with rappers, basically. We was working with a lot of up and coming rappers in Atlanta, and they was paying us every month to like help push their Instagram and push their social media and all that. So that's what we. Whatever the case was, I always was getting into it and was always trying to hurt me because of the I was hanging out with. Nobody ever tried to hurt me because I ain't did nothing to nobody for real. Only thing I did when I was a teenager was I sold a little loud, you know what I'm saying? Whatever I could get my hands on, I sold it, tried to make me a little bit of money, go give me some Air Force Ones, go to the movies, go to the Martin Luther King skating rink, shit like that, bro. I ain't never been no tough running up, robbing everybody and shooting everybody and going on live, taking pictures with the gun like this right here. Like, I ain't never been that. I always wanted to do YouTube. I don't want to be this. Y'all going to jail getting smoked. I ain't want to never do that. You feel me? But circumstances just end. Like, I just ended up in these situations, bro. Long story short, we come outside. We stay there for like 5, 10 minutes. We search every nook and cranny in that entire parking lot. We don't see. We assuming they left. So at that point, since we safe, we go back up to the trap. We kind of let down, and that was pretty much the end of that night. So that was not the last time we ended up kicking it with them. Hung around them probably for like another 3 weeks, and then we was like, man, we cool because we noticed that we stopped hanging out in the hood. We stopped doing all types of hood, you know, for 3, 4 years. And then we moved to Atlanta and got right back in the hood. So it's like we learned from our mistakes. And we right back in the hood because that's what these rappers at. You know these be rapping. You know how these rappers be before they blow up, bro. They be rapping, but them is street. Like, they be in the street every day. They be in the hood, on this hood, on that hood, on this hood, on this block, on that block. So it's like we realize we can't keep coming to the block. We making this mistake because we trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? We trying to do our thing. So easy. We trying to stack the little money that we do that we is getting. You know what I'm saying? To grow and get better in life in general. But it's like we risking our life doing this. You feel me? So that was the only source of income we really had at that point. So we just cut that shit off cold turkey. Um, but yeah, that was the only like real situation we got in Atlanta. And then from that point on, bro, we just like stopped hanging out with them. They stopped going over there. We stopped going to the hood in general. And we really locked in the crib. We was probably in the crib for a year and a half straight. Every day, just trying to grind, trying to blow our business up, trying to blow my YouTube up. You know what I'm saying? Grind. That shit popped in the end of 2021. It popped November 2021. That shit popped. And we was there. We was low key. We stayed in the same apartment. I was making 100,000 a month. My bro now was making 20, 30, 20 30,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? We was stacking our bread. I think that at that time the apartment was only like $1,600. So I was paying all that rent because I was making more than bro, and I was paying that rent, and bro was stacking his bread, and we were stacking our bread, stacking our bread, stacking our bread, and then in July we ended up moving to Atlanta. We moved to Atlanta. I mean, we moved to LA. We moved to LA before, like, we wasn't even, the lease wasn't even up. I don't think the lease was up until October. We moved in July. So I was paying two rents. I was paying two rents August, September, and no, just August and September. I paid two rents like 2, 3 times. And then we was in LA, and that was the last time we were in LA, bro. I've never been to the hood in LA. I ain't been to the hood in LA. I ain't been to the hood in Miami. I ain't been to the hood, like the real hood, like hanging out in the hood and nothing like that. I ain't been to no hood in 3, 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Because of that moment. So that's what I be telling all y'all, all my reactions. Like, if y'all stop going to the hood gang, y'all will stop getting hood results. If you stop being associated at all with the streets, because I feel like most in the hood is like me. You're not no robber. You just from the hood. You know what I'm saying? You might be associated with these. Them might have some of your friends. Your friends might have kicked some of them. They know that you hang out with these. So it's like you find yourself in situations because you might be from a place like, let's say, O Block, for example.
Yeah.
You might be from O Block, but you ain't never shot no nigga. You ain't never robbed nobody. You ain't never nobody. You ain't even on that for real. You just from O Block. Your mama just grew up block when you were 6 years old. You grew up here. It's just you just your homie. You just your
You are
friend.
just
You know what I'm
associated
saying?
with the bad.
But when the ops pull up and they see you and they know that you be with
You're involved.
they might you too. So it's like you kind of gotta be, to a certain extent, you kind of gotta be with that at least a little bit. You gotta be willing to defend yourself. You gotta be on point. You gotta know where to go, where not to go, who to go with, who not to go with, what part of the city to go to, what part of the city not to go to, what restaurant to eat at, what restaurant not to eat at. You feel me? What Harold, what gas station to go to, what wall. You still gotta be a little bit affiliated. And I feel like most like me, and the best, easiest way to do to get rid of all that shit is stop going to the hood, even if you can't afford it. Like, you feel me? We moved in Atlanta. We moved an hour away outside Atlanta, literally like 55 minutes outside Atlanta, just to like be cool and calm. And you know, the apartment was cheap. It wasn't like no grandiose type. It was a regular little apartment. We was splitting the bills 50-50 at the time, $800 a piece. You know what I'm saying? But that kept us out of trouble. That kept us alive. That kept us out of jail. You feel me? And we ain't get a lot of niggas telling us like, oh, y'all switched up, y'all scared, y'all, you feel me, y'all like this, y'all like that. And I'm like, okay, nigga, yes, I'm scared.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro. This is what people love doing when you are saying like, hey, I rather come out safe from all that BS, man. I rather take some few step backs because I know, this is not for me. Shootout is not for me. Altercation is not for me. So, and there will always be that one guy, the one, whether he's tough or not. He'll be like, okay, oh, so you scared now? Huh? You a pussy? You this? You that? Huh? You man up. And some men get easily tempted by that. You be like, oh, is that how you feel? Honestly, that's how I was back in the day. Somebody talk some shit. You be like, bro, I could shut, I could shut your mouth just right now, bro. I could. I mean, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of any of whatever you, how big are you, buffed up or whatever, whether you got a gun or whatever. Bro, I'm not scared of you. You can get easily tempted. And now you have an altercation. You either fighting or you got shot by a person that really dislike you. Oh, oh, that's how you feel. That's how you feel. I'm a pussy. Okay, okay, it's cool. I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna relax. It won't bother me because this is what you want. This. You are seeking a dichotomy. You're seeking a person to face you. And you know what I mean. And sadly, I'm black. You black too. Instead of focusing on actually what matters, fuck all that black shit or white, black and white. Nobody give a fuck. But at some point, there are values in life, and you will make a brother understand that hey, what we are doing, we are going against each other.
For 5 years. Yes, I'm scared. So are you. You just put on a show for everybody. So yeah, that's my advice to y'all, gang. Like if you ain't really trying to go to jail or die,
Probably we are
I ain't
from the
gotta send out
same
content.
fucking.
If you ain't ready to go to jail or die, bro, just stop
We are
listening to
on
me
the
all the time.
same
You know what I'm
destination.
saying? Stack your
We are
bread up, get you.
we are being through the same fucking situation. We are being through the same fucking trials in our life. Yet, guess what? You trying to face me.
A job, whatever you got to do, nigga. Work at Walmart, Target, stack your bread up for 2, 3 months, and move outside the hood, move to the suburbs. It's cheap places in the suburbs. Usually the suburbs is cheaper than the city because it's the suburbs. So you can go find you a little 1, 2 bedroom with you and your best friend, you and your little brother, you and your big brother, you and your cousin, you and your main squeeze. You feel me? You can find a 2 bedroom. Y'all can split the rent like that. Work y'all job at Walmart and stack your bread and build your business and build your Instagram or whatever the fuck you gonna do to get rich or go to college or whatever you gonna do, go to trade school. You can do that in the suburbs, but at least you ain't in the hood. At least you ain't getting shot at no more. At least them can't see you at the gas station and kill you because you feel me? Real deal on Fun and Grade. Y'all let me know if y'all like these story times. I'll bring it back because there's a lot of story times I didn't tell on my channel like ever. And I ain't told stories in years, bro. So that last time I probably told a story, I probably had less than 100,000 subscribers for real. So we had 8 going on 900K now. So I know a lot of y'all might not know the stories, and a lot of y'all might be with them and shit like that. So I'll definitely bring y'all at least a few stories a week or something like that until I run out. If y'all want.
That was a good story. Fucked up. It's not a funny thing, but yeah, to another person actively doing it. Ray J.
Blijf baas over je verleidingen met het ING-spaarslot. Slim toch? Het avondeten voor elkaar. Met HelloFresh smaakt geen doordeweekse avond hetzelfde. Nu met nog meer recepten dan ooit. Klaar om het avondeten weer wat pit te geven? Hallo.
Thank y'all so much for coming over. God bless.
It hurts. It hurts.
Like, was pretty sure most of you, Ray J was in a severe. I always say when celebrity it's just when I hear the word pneumonia and the stuff he went viral, it was trending for, was he was Kardashians. Uh, those spooky hours here, man.
him order. Only like a minute and 20 seconds. People are having, I'm having, like, come on now, pneumonia.
Hmm.
I can't wait to see the comments.
Ray J was admitted to a Las Vegas hospital last night with a severe case of pneumonia and heart pains. A
His
source
shoe
close
remains
to
for
Ray says
testing,
he
okay?
remains in the hospital where he has received x-rays and an echocardiogram. This follows a serious case of pneumonia Ray J had 4 years ago during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, I
He was
remember.
diagnosed with non-COVID pneumonia in 2021, and it was so bad he thought he could die. The bout put him on oxygen and temporarily required him to use an inhaler.
You gotta take it out.
If they see something on the heart, do they gotta take it out?
Take your heart out.
Take the seat out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, look messed up.
Like it was like a clot or anything.
Yeah. Your heart sits in a sac. There's a little bit of fluid around in the sac. But is that what you're speaking of? Yeah, like extra fluid or. The cardiologist is going to look at it further.
For more information and extended clips,
I'm wondering if somebody was secretly be recording like that. So somebody was probably secretly recording. When you people get sick every day, people die every day, but it's always heightened when there's a celebrity. But I just feel like knowing what we know about this industry and knowing that Ray J does have some beef with some people, especially with the Kardashians. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I always get this weird. What's his name? Murad channel. I'm not going to watch his video. I'm just looking at some of the comments here because the video I just watched, it didn't even. It was only like 11 comments. I just want to hear what Jamie Foxx. He's finished.
Did Jamie have the same issue?
And almost died after. Commented it again. Okay? Someone said the old pneumonia trick. They keep hell, plane/car wreck, poisoning / the pneumonia. So order. We remember Big CC. Right? Poisoning.
Huh.
So again, Ray J.
Did he know? Always have to involve Diddy in this shit, man. Come on. What if Ray J had this since 2021?
Niet de aanbieding laten bepalen, maar kopen wat je lekker vindt. Niet stoppen met verrassen, omdat je bang bent voor een verrassing bij de kassa. Ga naar Lidl, want bij ons zijn alle prijzen laag. Altijd.
Oh my goodness.
En op je boodschappen. Lidl, je verdient het.
Ze zegt de Canada, zo ligt een super aanbieding van Boekniet.
Wat als je een volledige bank in je broekzak had? Waarmee je eenvoudig wielrennen kan. Valuta's wissel.
because of severe pneumonia. That means they took him out, and this is the same pneumonia everybody else that died had. Uh, yeah. Here we go again. He called Beyonce out. Jay-Z didn't like that. Say,
Did he call Beyonce?
Brandy. Yeah. Oh, we called out Beyonce. Look, man. One of the things, I ain't trying to put nothing in y'all brains. All I'm saying is there's like you want. He could do it in a couple of days or just whatever. It could literally be done. I don't know. I just
It's in this weird all white party. I don't wanna. I don't wanna know, man. I don't wanna know.
so many stories that has been coming out.
I don't know. We don't know.
Hey, appreciate y'all coming over and watching.
I do not want to know. I do not want to know.
2009, actor Gene Winters suffered from a bacterial infection and died in the ambulance but was revived. After recovering, he developed gangrene and had multiple amputations and skin grafts. He is now better known for playing Mayhem in Allstate insurance commercials. Janis Joplin changed her will just 2 days before dying at the age of 27. She gave her estate to her parents and gave additional cash to her siblings. She even set aside $2,500 for her friends to throw a party in her honor and to, quote, get blasted after I'm gone. Cat burning was a form of entertainment in France prior to the 1800s. People would gather cats in a net and burn them over a bonfire while they laughed and cheered. This was done mainly because cats were associated with witchcraft and were burned as symbols of the devil. This Columbine class of '99 photo was taken just a few months before the shooting. In the top left corner, shooters Eric Harrison, Dylan Cleveland, wearing sunglasses. This is a game of hangman that a group of students played while they were locked in their classroom during the shooting. While being at one mass shooting is horrifying and unlucky enough, Regina Road was at two of them. 8 years after surviving Columbine, she was a student at Virginia Tech when 32 people were planted in the school cafeteria right before lunch. Luckily, the bombs failed to detonate. Otherwise,
You know,
488
wait. Now this makes sense. Yeah. Totally, makes sense. Ah. Trying to get angles, man. Angles of the fucking cameras. I've seen people with some creative ways how they are using their cameras. Just phone cameras. I'm not talking about, cameras.
In just a few months before the shooting, in the top left corner, shooters Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold can be seen making shooting gestures at the camera while wearing sunglasses. This is a game of hangman that a group of students played while they were locked in their classroom during the shoot.
Wait. We will.
Mass shooting is horrifying and unlucky enough. Regina Road was at two of them. 8 years after surviving Columbine,
What's up, Sia? How you doing? Hey, Dimanta. How you been? I am. I'm doing great. What about you? Uh, I was just watching some random morbid facts compilation. But yeah, I'm doing fine. I woke up pretty early today, multiple times, and now I'm just indulging some few videos. But how's your day? How have you been?
student at Virginia Tech when 32 people were killed. On the day of the shooting, two 10-kilogram bombs were planted in the school cafeteria right before lunch. Luckily, the bomb.
And say, oh, I thought you almost forgot me. Forget you. It's you that is ignoring me. It's you that is neglecting me. Like I dislike conversing with you through through my channel. I rather talk to you directly. I rather talk to you. I don't know, text you or something, so that I could send you some, I don't know, interesting text. But yeah, yeah, it's you that is actually neglecting me, and you're saying that I'm forgetting you. It's like it's as if you are not seeing that my focus is onto you. But if you are a bot, I get it. It's no problem. Then I'm the one that got food.
Detonate, otherwise all 488 students in the cafeteria at the time could have died. These melted chairs were the result of Dylan Klebold trying to set off one of those bombs with a Molotov cocktail. Female mummies in ancient Egypt were always more decomposed than their male counterparts. Researchers would later discover that this was because male bodies were embalmed a lot sooner than female bodies. Unlike male bodies, female bodies were kept at the family home until they started to decompose. The only reason this was done was to prevent the embalmers from getting weird with the bodies.
children who are
What you
victims
what
of
you what
hot
you what
car
you
deaths.
mean by getting weird with their bodies? What were they doing? Hold up, I gotta bring this back.
Later discovered that this was because male bodies were embalmed a lot sooner than female bodies. Unlike male bodies, female bodies were kept at the family home until they started to decompose. The only reason this was done was to prevent the embalmers from getting
Fucking
weird
them.
with the bodies. Children were
Okay, I gotta be honest. People are weird. Weird. Yeah. Even do this. You would think that is actually something that would die off. Intimate relationship with well, whether you call it a relationship or it's just they are they are doing it. They are doing with the with deceased bodies, man.
victims of hot car deaths are often found with large portions of their hair ripped out. The only reason dogs love squeaky toys is because they sound like little animals dying. Every unborn baby grows a mustache in the womb, which then spreads to cover the entire body. The baby then eats this fine hair called lanugo, then excretes it after birth with their first bowel movement. Lincoln's bodyguard was an alcoholic who had previously gotten in trouble for drinking on the job. He wasn't at his post to protect Lincoln that night because he was next door drinking at the Star Saloon. The same Booth was drinking to build up the courage to assassinate the president. The chair that Lincoln was shot in still has his bloodstains on it. John Wilkes Booth also planned on assassinating Ulysses S. Grant along with Lincoln. But he didn't attend the play because his wife was on bad terms with Lincoln's wife at the time. Instead, the other man in Lincoln's balcony was military officer Henry Rathbone. After the assassination, he was overwhelmed with guilt for the
Okay,
rest of
now
his
I'm gonna
life
ask
for
you.
not preventing.
I hope you are still there.
And
Now I'm
after
gonna
Lincoln
ask you,
stabbed his
Sing.
wife to
Have
death
you
before he
forgot
was
me?
committed to a mental asylum for the rest of his life. Remember this kid? He was saved by a dog when his parents left him in a garbage bin to die with his umbilical cord still attached. This is what he looks like now. Eitzaz Hudson was only 15 years old when he tackled a suicide bomber who tried entering his school. Sadly, he was killed but succeeded in saving hundreds of his fellow schoolmates. A Brazilian police officer was saved when his Nokia in his back pocket stopped a bullet that was fired at him. In 2015, a Texas father saved his son's life when doctors wrongly declared him brain dead and wanted to take him off life support. He barricaded himself in the hospital with a gun and had a 3-hour standoff with a SWAT team until his son squeezed his hand. The son went on to have a full recovery. The ancient Romans didn't have toothpaste or toothbrushes, but they had perfect teeth because their diets were so low in sugar. The Guinness Book of World Records recognizes the 1927 presidential election of Liberia as the most fraudulent in history. Although there were only 15,000 registered voters in Liberia at the time, Charles D.B. King received 234,000 and won the election
Hold up.
because their diets were so low in sugar. The Guinness Book of World Records recognizes the 1927 presidential election of Liberia as the most fraudulent in history. Although there were only 15,000 registered voters in Liberia at the time, Charles D.B. King received 234,000 and won the election. Incest was encouraged in ancient Egypt, as with many aristocracies, to keep the bloodline pure. Moreover, if they were twins and one was a boy and one was a girl, they were married at birth because it was assumed that they must have banged in the womb. During World War II,
Bang
Pope
in the
Pius
womb.
XII told the United States that he couldn't confirm reports that Germany was executing Jews. But in 2020, newly unsealed documents revealed that he was lying and knew all along that the Holocaust was happening. Homosexual males were identified in concentration camps by downward-facing pink triangles. Because of this identification, many of them were still considered criminals after their camps were freed. As a result, many of them were sent back to prison to serve out their terms.
In the 1980s, a Holocaust denial group offered $50,000 to anyone who could prove that gas chambers were used at Auschwitz. They were forced by judge to pay that and an additional $40,000 to Auschwitz survivor Mel Mermelstein, who provided the proof. In 1978, 15-year-old Mary Vincent was hitchhiking in California when she was picked up by 56-year-old sledgehammer and sexually assaulted her that night. The next day, he cut off both her arms with a hatchet and threw her into a ditch to die. But Mary managed to pack her stumps with blood to stop the bleeding and spent all night crawling out. She eventually made it to the highway and started walking, naked and covered in blood. The first car that saw her sped away in horror. The second car was a couple on their honeymoon who picked her up and she survived. Singleton was sentenced to 14 years in prison but was released 6 years early due to good behavior. He would go on to murder a different woman named Roxanne Hayes a few years later.
Roxanne.
In 2012, a Jesus statue
Roxanne.
in India had water mysteriously dripping from its toes. Worship over to collect and sometimes drink this miracle water.
All I
But
want
soon
is
enough, the
body
source
all
of the
night.
water was found to be a clogged toilet near the
Roxanne.
statue. After the Tiananmen Square massacre, the Chinese government sent bills
You
to
think
the
I'm
families of the protesters for the cost of the bullets used to kill their loved ones. Over the last 10 years, about 10 Americans have been accidentally shot by dogs. 5 of them happened in
Hold up.
Florida. Jeremy
People
Rodale was
over how many?
10 years, about 10 Americans have been
Over the last 10 years. Are being shot by their dogs. That's stupid.
accidentally shot by
Okay,
dogs.
accidentally.
5 of them happened in Florida. Jeremy Rodale was a longevity expert who popularized the term organic food. While filming an interview for the Dick Cavett Show, he declared, "I've decided to live to be 100 and I've never felt better in my life." But minutes later, Rodale died of a heart attack while still being filmed. Alexander I of Yugoslavia refused to make a public appearance on a Tuesday after 3 of his family members died on a Tuesday. After finally being forced to appear on a Tuesday, he was promptly assassinated. In 2006, agent was found naked and dead inside of a padlocked bag in his London home. Police concluded that he accidentally locked himself in the bag and died as a result. In 2001, a man was shot dead while testing out a bulletproof potion that he received from a witch doctor. After applying the potion for 2 weeks, he asked a fellow villager to shoot him so that he could test it out. Turns out the potion was just cherry Kool-Aid and the man died instantly. Godzilla was originally created to symbolize the atomic bombings and a victim of them. He's covered in keloid scars to depict the brutal body scars of survivors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Survivors who suffered the most from the bombings were in such horrific condition that people called them ant-walking alligators. They were described to be faceless with their heads transformed into blackened alligator hides, with red holes indicating mouths. Just months after the bombings, Kix Cereal offered an atomic bomb-shaped ring in exchange for a box top and 15 cents. While the atomic bombings were devastating, the most destructive bombing raid in world history actually took place a few months earlier. The U.S. a giant flaming X over the center of Tokyo. It left at least 100,000 civilians dead and a million more homeless. There's an area in Venezuela where lightning strikes 280 times per hour, 160 nights per year. It's called Relámpago del Catatumbo, aka the Everlasting Storm. The Indo-Hyas was a deer-like land mammal that was about the size of a raccoon. It's also the earliest known ancestor of the whale. This is how koalas are weighed, and it might just be the most adorable thing ever. While grizzly bears are large and terrifying, their size doesn't even compare to a polar bear's. When the sun is directly overhead, the landscape looks like a bad rendering of a video game. It's known as the subsolar point. A woman from Australia was awarded by PETA after rehabilitating a huntsman spider that only had 2 of its legs left. She fed it water and small cockroaches for a month until it grew all of its legs back. Sloths poop only once per week, during which they lose about a third of their body weight. It's such a dangerous task for them that about 50% of sloth deaths happen while they're dropping a deuce. Sloths digest food using fermentation, so if they're fed too always whisper when you're around a sloth because loud noises can cause them stress and lead to a heart attack. In 1903, Topsy the elephant was executed by poisoning Shreddy the elephant and electrocution. A 74-second video of the electrocution was recorded and preserved by Thomas Edison. It may have been the first time ever that death was captured in a motion picture film. In 1854, a 13-year-old boy died in San Francisco after a circus clown swung him around by the heels. A Frenchman named Tarare was famous in the 1700s for his endless appetite. He was reported to have
Endless
eaten live
appetite.
snakes,
That's
cats,
crazy.
lizards, and puppies. In one case, he ate a meal intended for 15 people in a single sitting. While being treated in a hospital for his condition, he was caught trying to drink other patients' blood and eat corpses from the morgue. After being suspected
I haven't
of
done
eating
this
a
in
toddler,
a
he
while
was
now.
ejected from the hospital. During the
Guess I
Civil
have
War,
to do it
twice
right
as many
now.
soldiers died from diseases than battle injuries. Dysentery and chronic diarrhea were so prevalent that there was an honor code among soldiers to never shoot a man while he's pooping. This is a
Never shoot a man while he's
Abraham
pooping.
Lincoln
That's crazy.
before and after the war.
It makes
Many
sense. It makes
Cherokee Indians
sense.
sided
Why
and
should
fought
you?
with the Confederacy during
Who's
the
taking
Civil
up number
War.
2, man?
This was
Come
because
on.
many of them were black slave owners themselves, and they still resented the Union for the Trail of Tears. Confederate soldier W.B. Meadows was shot in the eye during the Battle of Vicksburg. He survived,
He
and 58
survived.
years later, he coughed the bullet out of his mouth.
Whoa.
Until the Civil War, Robert E. Lee owned a plantation across the river from Washington, D.C. Once the Union Army captured the land, they started burying Union soldiers there to spite Lee. Today, that property is known as Arlington Cemetery. The 1889 World's Fair in Paris was where the Eiffel Tower was officially unveiled. That same fair also had a Negro zoo with 400 black people in cages as one of the attractions. Most white tigers in zoos are white because of forced inbreeding, and they're almost always born with genetic birth defects. A chimpanzee named Santino collected stones and stockpiled them to throw at passing visitors. This was the first ever observed case of an animal planning a premeditated attack. In 1993, a military jet flew over a zoo in Sweden and caused great stress to the animals. 23 baby animals were eaten by their parents as a protective response. There's a condition called zoochosis that causes repeated pacing, vomiting, and even self-mutilation. These behaviors are not seen anywhere in the wild and are only displayed because of captivity. In 2001, Ashton Kutcher had a girlfriend who was murdered by a serial killer after being stabbed 35 times in her own home.
That's
Kutcher
crazy.
would end up testifying in the trial of the Hollywood Ripper, who would later confess to murdering at least 10 women. A Minnesota burglar was caught after logging onto his own Facebook account on a computer in the house that he was robbing. The homeowner returned to find the perpetrator's account still logged in. In 2016, a Florida man threw an alligator through a Wendy's window and was charged with assault with a deadly weapon. In 2015, 2 daycare employees in New Jersey were arrested for running a toddler fight club. A dozen boys and girls aged 4 to 6 were encouraged to shove and strike each other in 1v1 or melee-style brawls. The 2 women were sentenced to 3 years probation for, quote, creating a recipe for disaster. When Tatanisha Hedman discovered that her husband molested their daughter, she took matters into her own hands and set him on fire.
That's crazy.
The 40-year-old mother waited for her husband to fall asleep before pouring kerosene on him and lighting a match. She later admitted to police that she intentionally set him on fire because shooting him would have been too nice. There's a Mickey Mouse comic strip from 1930 in which Minnie leaves him for another mouse. In response, Mickey then attempts several ways to commit suicide. In 1966, former U.S. Marine Charles Whitman suddenly went crazy and killed 16 people, including his mother and wife. Prior to the shooting, Whitman had seen several doctors due to the sudden onset of irrational thoughts. After his death, an autopsy concluded that a brain tumor was pressing against his amygdala, likely contributing to his sudden horrific behavior. During an interview with Stephen Hawking, the cameraman yanked out a cable that set off an alarm and caused Hawking to slump forward. Worried they had killed him, everyone rushed over to find Hawking laughing at his own joke. The alarm was from an office computer losing power. This guy got a tattoo of his daughter's last drawing before she passed away. As of 2006, about 75%
Shark
of
fins.
Chinese people didn't know that sharks were killed to make shark fin soup. But now more than 90% of China supports a nationwide ban thanks to activism efforts by people like Yao Ming. local police used forensic equipment to decipher the missing words, and the book was published on the day of her death. In 1991, Patricia Stallings was sentenced to life in prison for poisoning her child with antifreeze. She then gave birth to a second child while in prison, who was given to a foster care. But he eventually became sick with the same symptoms as the first child, indicating a rare metabolic disorder, not poisoning. This proved her innocence and she was later released. In a Mexican prison in 2020, two rival drug cartels decided to have a friendly soccer match. Things must have gotten out of hand pretty quickly since the match ended with 16 people dead. In 1975, it was revealed that the CIA had developed a heart attack gun that fired a dart of frozen water and shellfish toxin. Once inside the body, it would melt, leaving only a small red mark on the victim. The official cause of death would always be a heart attack. These are some of the most ironic deaths of all time. Eugene Azarinsky was the researcher who discovered he died in a car crash after falling asleep at the wheel. Jeremy Moody was a guest at a party for lifeguards who were celebrating going an entire season without anyone drowning. But at the end of the party, with over 100 lifeguards present, Jeremy's body was found at the bottom of the pool.
He was the
A
one,
Nebraska
though.
man named Derek Keeper was an anti-seatbelt advocate who wrote about why seatbelt laws shouldn't be a thing. 4 months later, he died in a car accident after not wearing a seatbelt, while his two friends who were wearing seatbelts survived. In 2011, a 49-year-old Russian woman was wrongly declared dead by doctors. At her own funeral, she suddenly woke up but was so horrified that she suffered a heart attack and died for real. A group of blue dogs was recently spotted in Russia near an abandoned chemical factory. It's believed they were exposed to chemicals used to make plexiglass, but doctors say they appear to be in good health. Despite its reputation for he has died from a confirmed spider bite in Australia since 1979. But many deaths have occurred due to people being surprised by them, such as while driving. When mating,
Smells so
flatworms
good.
engage in violent penis fencing to determine who will be the father. The winner who stabs the other with its pecker remains a male while the other becomes a female. Immediately after banging, a female praying mantis will rotate her head 180 degrees and eat the head of the male. Therefore, the male has an extra brain in its rear, so it can continue mating without a head. Actor Jake Lloyd played young Anakin Skywalker in Star Wars The Phantom Menace. But at the age of 12, he retired from acting due to bullying and destroyed all of his Star Wars memorabilia. Years later, he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia after being involved in a high-speed car chase with police. When Alan Kahn was only 12 years old, he watched his own father get murdered by a family friend. But he avenged his father's death by killing the murderer in a revenge attack that he had planned for 12 years. He ended up cutting the man into 12 pieces, one for each year that he had to wait. In 2005, Eric Torpy was sentenced to 30 years in prison for shooting. His sentence was extended. Its jersey number. Well, body doubles to get prosecuted for their crimes. It's such a common practice that there's even a term for it called ding zoi, aka substitute criminal. By definition, an outlaw is a criminal who has been sentenced to be outside the protection of the law. He has no right to trial and can be killed or prosecuted by anyone. 6 Georgia inmates out on work detail saved a deputy sheriff who collapsed unconscious. They could have taken his gun and fled with the work van, but instead used his phone to call 911. The sheriff's office gave the inmates a pizza party and recommended reduced sentences. During World War I and II, fingers were used to reconstruct noses. The patient's finger in return. A Japanese soldier named Hiru Onada was stranded on an island for 30 years without knowing that World War II had ended. His commander had to travel to the island to personally dismiss him in 1974.
Some of this stuff is really sickening to watch. It's like, it's not good for the stomach.
World War II than the number of planes that exist in the entire world today. Some warships used to be painted
Tough
like
to swallow.
optical illusions. The purpose of this dazzle camouflage was not to conceal a ship, but rather to mislead the enemy by making the ship's speed and range more difficult to estimate, much to the same effect as patterns seen on zebras, jaguars, and giraffes. Last year, a fan drove 3 hours to deliver a much-needed with him. On her way home, she stopped at a gas station, bought a scratch-off ticket, and won
10,
$10,000.
10. Okay.
9 out of 10 people who are stopped from committing suicide don't end up killing themselves at a later date. A team of firefighters from Wiltshire, England, saved a group of piglets
Hold
from
up.
a
You say
barn
what?
fire. On her way home, she stopped at a gas station, bought a scratch-off ticket, and won $10,000.
10,000. That's
9
dope.
out of 10 people who are stopped from committing suicide don't end up killing themselves at a later date. A team of firefighters from Wiltshire, England, saved a group of piglets from a barn fire. 6 months later, the farmer sent them sausages made from the piglets as a thank you gift.
That is
The
fucked up.
Iron Sheik planned on killing the man who murdered his daughter with a razor blade he was hiding in his mouth during the trial. But his family talked him out of it.
Wait. I need to hear this story again.
A team of firefighters from Wiltshire, England, saved a group of piglets from a barn fire.
Mm-hmm.
6 months later, the farmer sent them sausages made from the piglets as a thank you gift.
That's
The
fucked up.
Iron Sheik planned on killing the man who murdered his daughter with
Oh my goodness. Firefighters saved. Firefighters saved some few piglets from the bonfire. From getting. And guess what? A few months later, the firefighter received some. They received some sausages. Some sausages from the same pigs. That, I don't know if it's the same, bro. I don't know if it's the same, but yeah, they received a sauce from the same piglets that they saved.
a razor blade he was hiding in his mouth during the trial. But his
That's
family
fucked
talked him
up,
out
by
of
the
it,
way,
and
man. It's
instead
not a good story.
attributed to his daughter, he quit drugs and got his life back on
Latin
track.
Zor. What's up,
The
Latin
music
Zor?
director for the Jobs movie, Ashton Kutcher, tried Steve Jobs' diet, but he ended up in a hospital because it messed with his pancreas levels. It's likely pancreatic cancer. Albert Einstein's last words were lost forever because he said them in German, which the nurse armed during the making of this film isn't always true. It can be production as long as cameras weren't rolling at the time. The Heart Attack Grill is a restaurant in Las Vegas where people weighing over 350
Double
pounds can eat
bypass
for
burger.
free.
Okay.
3 people have died while
Triple
eating there,
bypass.
and
What the
only vegan
fuck, man? Okay. Butter fat shake. I'll be right back. Be right back. I'm going to take some pistache. I could go and take some pistache. Beep, beep, beep. This will be a new song. I'm going to take some pistache. Let's go and get some pistache. Let's go and get some pistache. I need some pistache. We need some pistache. Everybody say pistache. Get some ice cream. Start melting. It seemingly started melting outside. A few days ago, it was snow until my front door. After a few days later, guess what? We are saved. We good, fam. 10%. Okay. Gotta do this real quick then. Real. I got to do this quick. I say, I'm gone. I never asked for you. I never asked for your presence. I appreciate it. But shit, how can you say I'm gone? I'm gone. Like, what the fuck, bro? Green Rock. So I'm here to invade Earth. Very scary. I guess I'm scared now. Alien who is willing to invade my spot. I gotta get scared. I am scared now. I'm very, very terrified. Whoever you are, fuck off, man. And I say this politely. Because I'm not a polite type of motherfucker. Fuck off.
Option on the menu is cigarettes. While first filming Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe was allergic to his own glasses. Turns out he had a nickel allergy and suffered for weeks with mysterious bumps around his eyes. The nickel glasses were eventually replaced with hypoallergenic specs. The Make-A-Wish granted a child the chance to visit the set of Thor Ragnarok. In the movie, when Thor sees Hulk enter the arena, it was the child's idea for Thor to say he's a friend from work. Most of the with as a child were non-native speakers, including his father. He developed his halting speaking style by watching other people hesitate to think of the right
Pistache
English words. The U.S.
ice.
government was in full support
One
of
and only.
Independence Day, offering real military uniforms and even jets. That was the filmmakers refused to remove, at which point the government withdrew all support. In proportion to body weight, koalas have one of the smallest brains of any mammal. They're so dumb that when presented with leaves on a flat surface instead of on branches, they are unable to recognize them as dogs get sprayed by skunks so often because skunks raise their tails as a warning. Dogs see this as "come smell my butt," which is the exact opposite message of what the skunk is trying to send. In Germany, it is illegal to kill any vertebrate animal without proper reason. Because of this, all German animal shelters are no-kill. In the 1980s, Ken the enclosure at dogs see this as "come smell my butt," which is the exact opposite message of what the skunk is trying to send. In Germany, it is illegal to kill any vertebrate animal.
Let me give you some. Let me give you some little attention. You say, "Yo, how are you?" Thank you for asking. How are you? I'm gonna give you a warning. I'm gonna give you a warning before you continue anything. If you are 14 or 18 and below and tend to act, I guess, childish, you can leave because this is not your page. It's not. You know what I mean, this is not something that you would indulge on. Just your parents are really paying attention to what you are watching, and so you should better focus on stuff that you like. And I like to swear sometimes. Yeah, I like to swear. I'm pretty sure you are below that age, so you can just leave and seek something else to indulge on, you know, because yeah, I see this a lot. I get this a lot. Your parents is watching you, watching me, and I never intended you to watch my videos. In fact, I always say that these videos that I try to put on my channel it's never intended for these youngsters, but yet always I get these youngsters on my page, and now I have to warn you right directly before we continue with our conversation and say this is not a place for you. So better go elsewhere and indulge your, I don't know, your day. Have a nice day and enjoy yourself. But if you are willing to start a conversation politely, and you are welcome in my channel to just yeah. I never discriminate on age. respectful.
Reason. Because of this, all German animal shelters are no-kill. In the 1980s, Ken the orangutan escaped from his enclosure at the San Diego Zoo multiple times. His apparent goals were visiting other animals, taking photos with tourists, and throwing rocks at his orangutan rival. In her Firefox search history, Casey Anthony had
Let me read this. In her Firefox search history, Casey Anthony had foolproof suffo- su- suffocatron methods from the day before her daughter died. Okay, I need to know what that means.
foolproof suffocation methods from the day before her daughter died. But police overlooked this evidence because they only checked her search history from internet. Throughout his life, Ernest
She's
Hemingway survived
she's
malaria,
different.
anthrax,
I
pneumonia,
don't know.
dysentery,
I don't know. I wouldn't even think about something like that. Just went past me, and until I just realized it, she was searching for suffocation methods online. Our our daughter died. Man. Sheesh.
diabetes, hepatitis, a ruptured kidney, spleen, and liver, a crushed vertebrae, and a fractured skull. He also survived 2 separate plane crashes in a 2-day span while on an African
Are
safari.
you okay?
In 2013, a French businessman died of a heart attack while having an affair with a stranger during a company trip. A French court ruled that this was an industrial accident
Accident
and
and
that
his
his wife
wife
and
and family
family
were
were entitled
entitled
to
to compensation.
compensation.
For real?
When Charles was born, his mother didn't even bother giving him a name. When doctors handed her the papers, she wrote no name, and Manson's birth certificate read no until his death. After his mother spent 3 years in prison, she returned home and gave Charles a hug for the first and only time. Manson would later say that this hug was his only happy memory from his childhood. By the time he turned 32, Manson had spent nearly half his life.
Okay. Uh, I can tell that this child, shit, man. Manson. So he ended up being a child with no name. 1948. Man, he time ago, man. 1948, 1956, 1966, 68, 1968 again, 1969, another 1969, another 1968. Bro, he had a lot of pictures in 1969. It's like four or something. But all of these pictures, seemingly they were and get into jail, I think. I don't know. His year.
Behind bars. When he was released from prison in 1967, he requested to stay because he was afraid of adjusting to the outside world, as the prison had become his true home. Manson often gave his followers instructions on how to make the murders look like they were done by black people. When they murdered Gary Hinman in 1969, they drew a Black Panther paw on the wall using his blood. Manson apparently believed that this would would spark an apocalyptic race war. Johnny Depp's daughter nearly died from an E. coli infection and had an extended hospital stay. To thank the hospital, Johnny dressed up as Jack Sparrow and read stories to children for 4 hours. Before it came out in theaters, it was a 10-year-old girl's dying wish to see the movie Up. So a rep from Pixar flew to her home with a DVD copy, and she died 7 hours after watching the movie. In 2011, a man suffered a heart attack while shopping at a grocery store in Minnesota. Luckily, 20 people took turns performing CPR on him for more than 90 minutes until paramedics arrived. During the California Tubbs fire in 2017, a dog named Odin refused to leave his flock of goats behind while his owners fled to safety. Days later, the owners returned to their decimated property to miraculously find Odin and all of the goats still alive. In 1945, a U.S. military plane accidentally crashed into the Empire State Building due to heavy fog. Among other damages, the plane severed the cables of an elevator while a woman was still inside. But Betty Oliver survived the 75-story plunge and still holds the record for the longest survived elevator fall. In 2013, a college kid at UVA nearly died after drinking an entire quart of soy sauce on a dare. He now holds the record for the highest blood sodium level ever recorded without brain damage. In 1972, flight attendant Vesna Volovich survived a 33,000-foot fall after an aircraft explosion. She now holds the Guinness World Record for the highest survived free fall without a parachute. This woman's husband and son died in a car crash while driving home from an Italian soccer match. She was invited to the next game to discover that all the players and staff were wearing shirts to honor them. In 2017,
I love color. This is beautiful.
World record for the highest survived free fall without a parachute. This woman's husband and son died in a car crash while driving home from an Italian soccer match. She was invited to the next game to discover staff were wearing shirts to honor them. In 2017, a 9 weeks pregnant Brazilian woman suffered a stroke and was the babies had no hope for survival. The brain-dead woman was kept alive for 123 days before delivering a pair of healthy twins. You may remember Miles Scott saved the city of San Francisco while battling leukemia in 2013.
My
that
God.
same boy is now cancer-free.
My
After
God.
a 2018 voting accident in Nigeria, a man named Blankson sacrificed his life to save 13 people. By the 14th trip, he was completely exhausted and ended up drowning, but he was the only fatality of the accident. The death of Metallica singer James Hetfield's mom inspired him to write the song The God That Failed. She died when he was 16 due to Christian beliefs influencing her to reject cancer treatment. A waitress was tipped a lottery ticket and won $10 million. She was then sued by her colleagues for their share. Afterwards, she was sued by the man who tipped her the ticket. Then she was her husband and ended up shooting him in the chest. Lastly, she went to court against the IRS for more than a decade before finally winning. In 1825, painter Samuel Morse received a letter which read that his wife was sick. The next 2 days later, he went to see his wife one last time, only to discover she had already been buried. Distraught over the slowness of long-distance communication, he invented the Morse code. In 1977, Bob Marley was diagnosed with skin cancer on his toe and was told that having it amputated would stop the spread. But he refused the surgery. Religion saw amputation as a sin. By summer of 1980, the cancer had metastasized throughout Marley's entire body, and he died soon afterwards. When 2-year-old Rosalia Lombardo died from the Spanish flu in 1920, her grieving father insisted on her being preserved. Known as the Sleeping Beauty, to be buried in Sicily's Capuchin catacombs. This photo was taken in 1982, 62 years after she died. In the year 2000, a partially paralyzed old man was in his outhouse when the floor suddenly collapsed. He fell through and was immediately surrounded by excrement, spiders, maggots, and rats. He was stuck for more than 3 days until his mailman thankfully found him. NASA originally planned on sending Big Bird on the Challenger to get children interested in space. The Big Bird's suit was too big, so they ended up sending T. Shortly after takeoff, the Challenger exploded while millions were watching live on CNN, including McAuliffe's entire school. One of the main engineers behind the rocket revealed that NASA ignored his warnings against launching in cold weather. The night before the launch, he told his wife, quote, "It's going to blow up." He was one of 5 engineers who voiced their concerns to NASA prior to the launch. Despite initial reports by NASA, the astronauts likely didn't die immediately from the blast. They might have spent the last 3 minutes of their lives consciously plummeting to Earth at 200 miles an hour.
De beste vroegboekdeals boek je op vakantiediscounter.nl.
Stop met wegdromen en start met een van onze 1000 opleidingen. LOE, groei door.
I want you to really think about this. Everything that you do, whether you realize it or not, is affecting everything about your life. And it's even affecting your loved ones. In 6, we see that the Israelites experienced this incredible miracle, the fall of the walls of Jericho. With this miracle, they're given a very clear command. Look at verse 17.
Okay, let's read it. 17, Jericho. And everything in it must be completely destroyed as an offering to the Lord. Only Rahaba, I think it's Rahaba. Only Rahaba, the prostitute, and only Rahaba, the prostitute, and others in her house will be spared, for she protected our spies.
Jericho, the Lord. Only Rahab the prostitute and the others in her house will be spared, for she protected our spies. Verse 18 says, the things set apart for destruction, for you yourselves will be completely destroyed, and
You will be
will
trouble in
bring
the camp of
trouble
Israel.
on the camp of Israel. By the name of Achan, actually kept some of the goods for himself. He hides them in his tent, and then Israel, as a result, suffers defeat. Watch this, Joshua 7.
So, approximately 3,000 warriors were sent, but they were soundly defeated.
So approximately 3,000 warriors were sent, but they were soundly defeated. The Israelites from the town gate as far as the
Okay, yeah, they chased the Israelites, sorry, from the town gates as far as the quarries. Killed about 36 who were retreating down the slope. The Israelites were paralyzed with fear at this turn of events, and their courage melted away. Okay,
quarries, and they killed about 36
quarries.
retreating
I
down
say
the slope.
quarries,
The
but it's
Israelites were
quarries.
paralyzed with fear at this turn of events, and their courage melted
I guess
away.
I got an accent.
Well, at
Who
one point,
cares?
Israel had experienced the hand of God moving their enemies aside. Now it seemed that the hand of God had lifted from them and experienced victory. Take this line of questioning to the Lord, Joshua 7:7 and 8. Then Joshua cried out, "O sovereign Lord, why did you..."
Oh, then Joshua cried out, "Oh, sovereign Lord, why did you bring us across the Jordan River? If you're going to let the Amorites kill us, okay? If only we had been content to stay on the other side." And what is the other side?
Bring us across the Jordan River.
The
If you're
believing
going to let
side.
the Amorites kill us.
Amorites,
If only we had
yeah,
been
I was
content
right.
to stay on the other side. Lord, what can I say now that Israel has fled from its enemies? So then the Lord reveals to Joshua the cause of the defeat. Joshua 7:10-12. But the Lord said to Joshua, "Get up, why are you lying on your face like this? Israel has sinned and broken."
Israel has sinned and broken my covenant. they stole some of the things that I commanded must be set apart for me. And they have not only stolen them, but have lied about it and hidden the things among their own belongings.
In my covenant. They have stolen some of the things that I commanded must be set apart for me, and they have not only stolen them, but have lied about it and hidden the things among their own belongings. That is why the Israelites are running from their enemies in defeat. For now Israel itself has been set apart for destruction. I will not remain with you any longer unless you destroy the things among you that were set apart for destruction.
Okay.
Now, God then exposes Achan. Look at the process by which he does this. Joshua 7, 16 to 21. That hidden sin was affecting the nation long before they knew what that sin was. I want you to think about that. The ramifications of that sin, the effects of that sin, the negative outcomes and consequences of that sin were being experienced by the people of Israel before that sin was ever even exposed. And that's an important thought I want you to hold on to as we continue to read Joshua 7, 16 to 21. Early the next morning, Joshua brought the tribes of Israel before the Lord, and the tribe of Judah was singled out. So now the Lord singles out a single tribe. Then the clans of Judah came forward, and the clan of Zerah was singled out. Then the families of Zerah came forward, and the family of Zimri was singled out. Every member of Zimri's family was brought forward, person by person, and then Achan was singled out. Then Joshua said to Achan, my son, give glory to the Lord, the God of Israel, by telling the truth. Make your confession and tell me what you have done. Don't hide it from me. Achan replied, it's true. I've sinned against the Lord, the God of Israel. Among the plunder I saw a beautiful robe for Babylon, 200 silver coins, and a bar of gold weighing more than a pound. I wanted them so much that I took them. They are hidden in the ground beneath my tent, with the silver buried deeper than the rest. So what happens next is tragic. Achan and his entire family are killed. We see that in Joshua 7, 24 and 25. But
It's fucking lame, bro. Come on, bro.
Exclusief bij Scapino.
Don't give a fuck about Sopino, bro.
Dirk heeft mede de laagste prijzen voor budgetboodschappen. Echt zeker van de laagste prijs. Dat is Dirk met deze week melkuniebreker voor maar 89 cent. Op Dirk kun je rekenen.
Hey, wij zijn STOK. Wij zijn er voor de nachtdieren en de gezelligheidsdieren. Voor de citytrippers. Oh. Basic en bewust. STOK. Unieke hostels door heel Nederland.
Another one, bro? Like, what the fuck? I don't give a fuck.
here's what we need to think about. Achan thought that his sin was hidden. He buried it deep, where he thought it would never be uncovered. He thought there would be no consequence for what he had done. He thought that it wasn't going to affect him. Reality, it wasn't hidden. God saw it. God knew every step of the way. And the truth of the matter is, it wasn't worth it. Now, we understand that as New Testament believers, we don't hold to the idea that God punishes you directly for another person's sin. And that's true. God holds the individual accountable, not the group accountable. But that you're you are. You're that you are. Your secret friend that you are. The kind of church member that you are. The kind of minister that you are. And God is calling today for his people to confess sins before him. Now, thank God, we understand that all wrath was poured out upon Christ. So there's mercy for you when you repent. But again, I call your attention back to the reality that the Israelites suffered defeat long before the sin was ever exposed. Even if no one ever finds out about that habit, even if no one ever sees that thought, that attitude, those words that you spoke in silence, maybe whispering some gossip to someone, even if no one sees that, even if that doesn't get exposed publicly on a wide scale,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. It's still affecting you. Approach to God. It's affecting your belief in your identity in Christ. It's affecting everything about you. Conversely, it's also true that the good deeds that you do, in fact, watch
Yeah,
out.
let's see, okay.
Don't
Watch out. Don't do your good deeds publicly to be admired by others, for you will lose the reward from your Father in heaven.
admired by others, for you will lose the reward from your Father in heaven. But when you give to someone in need, don't let
But when you give to someone in need, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. For give your gift in private, and your Father who sees everything will reward you.
what your right hand is doing.
What if you get questioned then? Huh? What if you get questioned? Because now people tend to do that. You don't necessarily are seeking approval for what you did in life, right? Somebody something or not. Then somebody asks you like, "Did you give this person this?" I'm like, maybe I did. Is it wrong for a person to answer and say yes, I actually did? Now it's kind of this comes back to a conversation that we had yesterday about Allah deceive you. Allah will also lead you to. This is similar to what the conversation or debate that I heard yesterday. You say, forgive your gift in private, and your Father who sees everything will reward you. Now, you did not do that in private. I think it's kind of messed up for your Father to still not reward you just because um, he wants you to do that in private. It's like everything supposed to be unseen. I disagree. You know, I disagree. I get it, but I disagree. There comes the choice part. You know what I mean? Like everything that we choose or decide, uh, it becomes against the Most High. And to do something right by choice. Against, why would that be against your Father? He wants things to be done unseen, but now you're doing things in the world. Everybody is seeing what you're doing. Do with your heart, where your heart lies. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you millions of people surrounding you and watching you doing, giving a, you know what I mean, doing a good deed. It's all right. We don't even have time to do something right. When it happens, it feels like we are being this shit that I'm saying right now. I'm talking right now on live. Tomorrow, some videos will pop on my channel just because people are feeling like there is, you know what I mean. They feel like, oh, I can fix him. Some few videos onto him so that he could get some few knowledge. It's always that. Life, people will always feel like it's necessary to, get a better version of you. And people are so opinionated. I keep on repeating this in every video. There I go again with the swearing. It's always they think that they know better, even though they haven't lived at the time of Jesus Christ, but yet they will give you information about it and say, "Yeah, I read it somewhere." That doesn't say that you have all information. Everybody can read. Some of them they read the whole book, but they still don't understand anything. Now you're having a conversation with them, it will contradict them because you have experienced life and they have read about it.
And your Father who sees everything will reward you. Your secrets affect everything about you. The way you talk, the way you come across, how you interact with your loved ones. Everything about you is affected by your secrets, whether good or
Oh,
bad,
bad, okay.
and whether you realize it or not. So, Father, I pray that if they are in sin, you would grant them the conviction of the Holy Spirit. Now, as we pray, I want you right now to begin to get those things right before the Lord. Talk to Him about those things. Confess them before Him. Don't hold on to them. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just to forgive us. He is merciful. So, Lord, I pray you bring healing, grant repentance, in Jesus' name. Lord, I pray that you would cause your people to reclaim the secret place. And if they're doing well, help them to hold their ground, to continue to do well in secret. We give you the praise and the glory and the honor. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Type it in the comment section if you believe it. Type a big amen. Well, I want to invite you, if this ministry has blessed you, make sure you help support what God is doing through this ministry. Get involved today by becoming a monthly ministry partner. To do so, you can go to davidhernandezministries.com/partner. You can also give a single gift by going to davidhernandezministries.com/donate. Every gift, large or small, single or monthly, it all counts. So obey the voice of the Holy Spirit today. Now,
It was an interesting video about sin. Everything you do in secret has been, yeah, very interesting. The part of I mean, the part of good deeds, I have to disagree. I will always disagree. Many people love doing this, advices on how people should maneuver the world. And yes, he was definitely right. He was definitely don't like it. If I give something to someone, that is it, man. That is it. So people are so invested because they're not invested. They're not invested in what you're doing. They're more invested in. I wouldn't tell. In silencing you, maybe. No. People are more invested in assume what you're doing or saying. Right. Make an assumption of if you're doing something right, you're surrounded by millions of people and they see that you're doing something right, you're giving. It's, the Father will not bless you if you do so. Something right and it's not being seen, reward you. That we do something right without putting ourselves in front of a camera and we still haven't received anything back. Asking for anything. It's just, it's again, it's your deeds. Your deeds is what matter. It's never the credit behind it. If people are expecting the credit, then I think you're doing something wrong. It's just you. It's right that your heart feels like no, you can't a certain relief. And if most people don't get that feeling, I guess I'm the only one. You got for me, man. What's the time? Ooh, okay. I see. It's Saturday today. Okay, I think I must stop this. I'll probably be back on later. Gotta watch some soccer. Gotta watch some football, man.